Bonjour, Annie. Fifth graders, it's Miss Boughton back again with chapter 2 of When a Ghost Talks. Listen, exciting stuff, I know, right? So, I'm going to read chapter 2 to you. Then, what I want you to be able to do is answer a couple questions. And those questions ahead of time are: what words would you use to describe General Pushmataha? So we've seen from chapter 1 how he interacts with Isaac. Now we're going to see more of their interactions with each other and how he treats him. So give me a couple words, 2, 3 words. Tell me what words you would use to describe him, his personality, how he acts, how he behaves. Let me know. Then the next question is, what does Isaac experience for the first time and how does it make him feel? So what is Isaac going to experience and what feelings come up during this experience for him? And then the last thing I want you to be able to do is identify 3 key details from this chapter. So I'm going to give you a list of details. You need to pick out which 3 are key details, okay? So those are the 3 things. I'm going to get started reading. It's a quick chapter. It's a short chapter, chapter 2. And we are going to get started. As you know, when we left off, General Pushmataha has just come to Isaac and introduced to him Rattlesnake Stella, who we met first back in book number 1, How I Became a Ghost, as one of the Choctaw Councilwomen who was injured and then killed by the leader. Now, here we are, once again, with General Pushmataha, Rattlesnake Stella, and Isaac. Chapter 2, aptly titled Rattlesnake Stella. Before General Pushmataha could say a word, I heard a rustling of dry leaves. I was too scared to look, but I finally realized that whatever it was, it couldn't hurt me now. I am a ghost. I glanced to my right, and there she sat, curled up with her fangs drooping and her head resting in her rattles. I looked to Pushmataha and pointed to the snake. He read the question in my eyes. So, can you really read questions in people's eyes? It's not like words scratched across my eyeballs, are there? No. What that meant was that he could read his expression. He saw the look on his face, and he is getting to know Isaac well enough from watching him, what he might be thinking or feeling. So, when he says he read the question in my eyes, that's what that's referring to. Yes, Isaac, that is Stella. As if in response, the rattlesnake wiggled her tail and a soft whirl filled the silence. I have invited Stella to be a guardian while you and I travel, said Pushmataha. I puffed my chest and smiled a big smile. General Pushmataha, maybe the most famous Choctaw of all time, had chosen me to join him on a dangerous journey. Then, as quickly as a firefly, oh, what is that? Metaphor or simile? As quickly as a firefly. Metaphor? Simile, you're right. Because it uses the words, that's right, like or as. I hung my head in shame. Well, first he's puffing out his chest in pride, and now he's hanging in his head in shame. This was no time to be proud. Yes, I am a Tushka Shilombish, a spirit warrior, but I will never be a great one like him, General Pushmataha. I will do my best, I said. General Pushmataha touched my shoulder. You will do fine, Isaac. I have been watching you for longer than you know. Will Nita be Hoki? I asked. Isaac, he said, Nita will not be alone. She is such a cute little girl. She'll have 1,000 Choctaw Ohoyos. Ohoyo is woman in Choctaw, scrambling to take care of her. But that task will fall on one very special Ohoyo, our Choctaw councilwoman. The snake lifted her head and tail at the same time. She gave a rattle, pointed her pointy head in my direction and waved her fangs at me. Hokey, ghost or not, I was afraid. It's only Stella, said Pushmataha, trying not to laugh. But I did my best to smile at her. But I had been trained from childhood to make no sudden movements around a rattlesnake. Even though this was Stella, she was still a snake. Maybe my brother Luke can look out for Nita, I suggested. This did not please Rattlesnake Stella. Her head froze, and she stared at me with unblinking eyes. The whole world froze for just a moment, and then Stella drew her head back as if to strike. Maybe I didn't stay as still as I thought. Maybe I flinched. Maybe. But that does not excuse what Stella did. She flung her fangs at me, dripping with rattlesnake venom. No! I shouted, expecting the worst pain in the world, the pain of poisoned fangs sinking into my skin. It seems like just for a moment, maybe Isaac forgot he was a ghost. Of course, I had no skin and could feel no pain. Rattlesnake Stella and General Pushmataha just laughed at me. Stella slithered into the general's lap. I tried my best to be mad, watching the most honored of all Choctaw chiefs, now a ghost, and a Choctaw councilwoman, now a rattlesnake, share laughter at my expense. Finally, I did what any good Choctaw would do. I joined them. We all had a good laugh, a good Choctaw laugh. It's funny because Isaac describes them as being these honored leaders, and sometimes we think about leaders like a president or a king, like they're very serious and they do things that are very proper at all times and are worried about how people see them. But these two have no problem laughing and joking and having a good time, even if that means making fun of somebody like Isaac. So, a good Choctaw laugh. I think that settles it, Pushmataha said. Stella will look out for Nita while we travel. That Hokey, Isaac? A Chukma. Good, I said. He nodded at Stella, and she slipped down to the ground and wriggled away in the tall grass. I still don't know where we are going, I thought. Glad you asked, Isaac, said Pushmataha. He brushed a mosquito from his nose and glanced to the treetops. How does he do that? I wondered. I'd given up trying to swat mosquitoes as a ghost as a long time ago. You ready to go, Isaac? Before I could open my mouth to answer, I was floating 100 feet above the trees. I didn't close my eyes. I didn't even blink. I wanted to see everything, the world, the sky, and everything turned dark, but not a black lights out dark. No, this dark swirled with color, yellow and red and blinking white, then briefly black as night. I felt neither dizzy nor strange as I sat and watched the kaleidoscope of flashing colors, green and purple and sky blue too. Halito, I whispered. Hello? I'm here, Pushmataha said. We are Hokey, Isaac. I could no longer feel the wind, but I knew it was blowing. My body tumbled like a leaf in a tornado, upside down and around and around. I put my hand to my mouth to keep from throwing up and sending regurgitated corn like yellow raindrops on the walkers below. That's dumb, I thought. Ghosts don't eat, so ghosts can't vomit. This part again seems like Isaac is briefly forgetting every now and then that he is still a ghost. But as we know, he's only been a ghost now for a few weeks. So while he is getting acclimated and learning how to do certain things, this whole ghost experience is still quite new to him based on the fact that he seems to be forgetting that. And then for the first time in several days, I felt the shiver. I closed my eyes, but when I opened them, I saw nothing I hadn't seen before, yet something was different. I heard a voice, as soft as a songbird in the roar of the storm. Soon whispering voices came from all directions, surrounding me. The singing settled everything. I smiled to hear the song, Shilombish Hilo Holito Pama, Amazing Grace in Choctaw. Through the mist, older men and women circled all around me. Their heads were bowed and their palms were lifted to the high heavens as they sang. Be kind to Miss Boughton, singing in Choctaw for the first time. Shalom Bisholito Pama Ishmin Tipulacha Hata Kibasha Iya Ishpiat Palashki. How could I feel afraid? The wind blew gently, and I stopped rolling. I opened my eyes and saw the earth below. Through fleeting holes in a cloud, we sailed over mountains covered with tall pine trees. Sometimes we flew high above the mountain tops, and other times so close to the forest below that I could have leapt onto the tree limb. We slowed down as a sparkling river came into view, winding like a snake through the forest. Small canoes and fishing boats floated up and down the river. So this is what it's like to be a hawk, I thought, soaring up and diving down from cloud to earth and back again. I wonder what it's like at night. Suddenly, a ball of fire dropped from the sky. I expected the woods to explode in flames and to see foxes and squirrels flee from the fire. But nothing burned. Nothing. Instead, everything turned dark. A yellow moon glowed in deep blue waters, surrounded by twinkling silver stars. I realized I had just watched a sunset, the fastest sunset ever. Wait till I tell Joseph. I had never seen the world so beautiful. I was beginning to understand why ghosts are so much happier than people. Even though death surrounds us, so does life, and life is an adventure, one exciting moment after another. So that is the end of Chapter 2, Rattlesnake Stella. Please go check out the read aloud questions and answer them. They are, once again, what words would you use to describe General Pushmataha? We've seen him interact with Isaac. What words would you use to describe his personality and his actions? Then, what does Isaac experience for the first time? And how does it make him feel? And then lastly, there's going to be a list of details, and I want you to select them, what the top 3 key details are from Chapter 2. Very good. See you guys next time.